Hi there, and welcome to the second episode of our Consulting Conversations podcast. We hope that you enjoyed the first episode on gamification. This time we're recording in person in Madrid on the topic of location strategy, nearshoring, and offshoring. So before we dive into today's topics, some introductions. So my name's George Holman. I'm a partner in our banking and markets EMEA practice. So I perform a number of roles within our consulting division, but probably the one that is most relevant to this conversation today is that I'm accountable for the India presence within our practice. Silvia.
My name is Silvia Amoros. I'm based here in Madrid, and I'm also a partner within the banking and markets EMEA practice. Similar to George, I have a number of roles within the practice and the Davies consulting division. But again, I'm responsible for the Madrid presence, our nearshoring services. So really happy to be here today.
Thank you, Silvia. Thank you for taking the time. So jumping straight into the episode, Silvia, you spoke about Spain, you spoke about nearshoring. It would be great if you could explain to those watching, what is it that we're able to do from our clients from Spain?
So thank you, George. I think the most important thing is that nearshoring at the end of the day gives us the capacity to perform our delivery capabilities that we do elsewhere from Spain. Not only reducing our cost, but also providing that rotation for our teams, our clients, our experience that makes us be different and makes us provide an added value to our clients. So the type of services that I would say we focus on from our Madrid office are not just specific SME skill sets, but we also provide change transformation experts for our clients, BAs, PMOs, PMs, testers, data analysts, these type of people, this type of skills, with that rotation of our international client base, just have a different knowledge and have additional skills that make a difference to the projects of our clients. So that's what we focus on within Spain, Madrid. We do have a center of excellence for certain activities such as client lifecycle management, KYC, financial crime operations, or other services within change. But to be specific, I think that would be a different conversation probably for another day.
Right. Okay, that's really helpful. Thank you, Sil.
So with regards to India, George, and we always speak about nearshoring, offshoring, onshoring. I guess Bestshoring is the word that we hear all the time, right?
Right.
In India, what are the services that you provide?
It's a good question, and I think actually I'd echo some of the points you made, Sil, around providing kind of services to our clients, almost regardless of location, but taking advantage of some of the time zone differences, some of potentially the cost efficiencies. So in India, at the moment, we have three main services that we offer from our consulting division. The first is from banking and markets. The second is from our people and organizational performance practice. And the third is from our financial crimes and compliance practice. So from a banking and markets practice perspective, a lot of what we do at the moment is providing resources to our banking clients that will focus on the delivery of complex and regulatory change. So providing project managers, program leads, BAs, potentially testing resources to work on some quite complex regulatory, pieces of work, things like FRTB, trade conduct controls, transaction reporting. A lot of the problems that our clients have, they're looking for options around resourcing from India, and we're able to support them with that. From a people and organizational performance perspective, it's one of our most established practices across the globe. Specifically in India, we're able to deliver local services to our clients from India, but also our India-based experts are able to deliver globally as well. So actually it offers that, follow the sun potentially model around, the delivery of training interventions. And then on the financial crimes and compliance side, it's more similar to what we do in banking and markets. It's providing, specialist resources to our banking clients, focusing on things around financial crime, fraud prevention, AML, etc.
Absolutely. It's a good point, George. Actually, that staff augmentation or providing that muscle to our clients from nearshore, offshore, Bestshore locations, it's actually one of the things that we need to focus moving forward to make sure we can support our clients.
Agreed. So I think what I'm hearing, Sil, and you and I talk about this a lot, right, is we're able to do from Spain and India and other locations, because clearly we have other locations as well, but we're able to do similar things and more as we would from the traditional kind of core locations where we also operate. You've sat on the other side of the kind of table, as have I. We've both worked for major financial institutions. Are there any lessons that you learned in your past and now, being on the leadership group in a consultancy around nearshoring, offshoring, bestshoring that we could share with those watching? Lessons learned, things that you think people should know about.
Yeah, I think my main lesson learned has been, and it still is, um, provide the right level of skills for each engagement, regardless of the people, regardless of the availability,
Mm,
regardless of the location. So I think the biggest success in the different engagements and projects that we've done, it's actually combination of teams where you get the most out of everyone, right? You get the
right.
most out of different leadership teams. You get the
Mm,
most out of different ways of working,
mm,
different cultures, different backgrounds. So, for example, I would say 98% of our engagements from a nearshoring perspective are actually a combination of teams. We have certain local knowledge that we need. For example, in specific regulatory change projects,
mm,
we need someone that knows regulations for that specific country. But then the BA work, or maybe the additional muscle that you need from a project management perspective, governance perspective, etc., reporting perspective, can be handled from a nearshoring perspective. So I would say that that would be the biggest lesson that I've learned, that that combination of teams is not just efficient,
mm.
but it's also enriching from a professional and a personal perspective. And I've definitely learned a lot. And my team always tells me it's very enriching to work with people from other locations, with clients from other locations, because it definitely opens up your mind
Mm.
and gives you a lot of ways to do things better moving forward.
Okay.
Yeah, but in your expertise, George, and I know India, Spain is pretty different from a
Mm,
culture and a skill set perspective as well. But we don't. I mean, we provide things that are very similar as well, right?
mm,
Delivery capabilities from other locations.
mm.
What do you see? What's your biggest lesson learned in terms of, you know, what you have seen in those engagements that you can share with us today?
Sure. So I think I'm going to cheat a little bit and probably give two or three kind of lessons learned. I think the first major one for me is operating as one team. So rather than having a mentality of different teams in different locations, it's threading the teams together, making sure there's a one team mentality, and we've got a track record of doing that for our clients. Providing people and expertise from, as again, the traditional kind of core locations such as London and New York and Toronto, and then blending that with expertise from other locations as well. And I really like the point you made around bringing together different ideas and perspectives. It's often through that diversity of thinking that we reach the best solutions. Um, Another point I would probably just offer is sometimes when we think about different locations, we just think about cost. I think there clearly is a cost element to doing things from different locations, but it just shouldn't be the main and only driver behind doing stuff like that. Um, and then the third point I would probably say is around location strategy. So I think having a strategy around where things are being done, where tasks are being performed, where projects are being led is very important, rather than just having a smattering of people in different
Totally.
locations. It needs to be joined up, it needs to be thought out. And actually we've been doing some work recently with clients around helping them to define their own location strategies based on some market analysis that we've done right the way across the globe, covering more traditional core locations, nearshore and offshore locations. So it's really bringing that piece together to help firms find that best solution.
I agree, and I really like that piece of work. To be honest, that you worked with a team on the location strategy. I was specifically interested in. So you mentioned cost, and that it's not the only reason why we do
Mm,
nearshoring, offshoring, or bestshoring, right? We also want to find the right skills for the right piece of work. But I guess the point is that in that assessment, I was surprised by some of the cost efficiencies and actually some locations that are not as cheap, if you may, or less expensive than what I would have expected. So definitely something that I would recommend sharing across the group.
Yeah. So we spoke a bit about cost. I think we've spoken about bringing together different teams. We've spoken a bit about diversity. Silvia, from your perspective, how do you think we as a group are able to best support our clients as it relates to offering them nearshore and offshore solutions?
So, good question, George. I think I would say I'm focusing again on efficiency, expertise, teamwork, and collaboration. So, aligned to our values here at Davies Consulting, I think we can offer our clients the best way to work together, accomplishing one goal. So, what we try to do in our engagements from a nearshoring perspective is ensure we can, reduce the cost, of course, of the engagement, but also by providing the right person, the right skill set for the role. So, we're not just reducing the cost, we're actually providing the expertise that is required for that role. And sometimes we might say, okay, maybe I don't need that level of expertise, but it's enriching for my project. Then we can provide someone for with the same cost, but that is more senior, that can provide oversight, that can provide creative ideas for your processes, for your ways of working, that our clients, I think, appreciate, right? And I think that's the differentiated value that we provide. We all come from the banking industry, from financial institutions, and we've had those challenges. So I think that having that support from a change and transformation perspective, but also with our expertise and the SME teams that we have, I think provides that balance and that equilibrium between efficiency, cost efficiency, professional efficiency or processes efficiency, as well as teamwork. And we are one with our clients. So I would say that combination, as I mentioned before, that combination of our teams provided to our clients just provides that one team as well with our clients that we want to work alongside with. In your front, George, what do you see we can provide to our clients?
So it's a good question, right? One of the main pieces of feedback that I keep going back to, and it was given to me by a client in India. He said to me, he's a user of our services. He uses our resources, particularly around complex regulation. And I explained to him in India around the breadth of our capability, so covering all of the different practice areas, covering the work that we're able to do in India, but also globally. And he surprised me. He said, I actually wasn't aware that you are able to do so much more than just providing resource in his case. And that was even though we are actually already providing different services to his organization already. And I think that's part of the reason I think we were so keen to host this episode, is really to start broadening that awareness around the things that we can do across our practice areas, across the different locations that we operate in.
Valid point, George. I think one of the most enriching things that we have accomplished this year internally at Davies Consulting is provide from Spain the knowledge that we can provide, services, nearshoring services for all our practices, not just banking and markets EMEA, but the rest of our practices within our group. And that has been enriching, not just for our clients, but also for our teams.
Thank you, Sil. So if you wanted, the people watching this episode to take 2 or 3 key headlines away from this episode, what would they be?
So I think I would say Bestshoring, find the right location for your engagements, for your support, for your augmentation of staff, expertise and skills. So we can support from a nearshoring perspective, specifically from Spain as well as from India, different skills. And lastly, combination of teams. This is enriching for our clients, as mentioned, for our teams as well. So I think that if we work together and we provide those solutions for our clients, they will start seeing the value from a global perspective. So George, in your opinion, what do you think are the key takeaways from an India perspective that you want our audience to see?
Absolutely. So I think for me, the key takeaway is I want our viewers to understand the breadth of our capabilities in India. Similarly, in Spain, right? We, as coming together under the Davies Group, we're now, got significantly more scale and scope to be able to support our clients across different capabilities and different specialties. And I think actually coming away from this, if people have a good understanding of, what we are able to do for our clients from India, both what we've done traditionally, but also on top of that, I think would be a great takeaway.
Can't agree more.
Yeah. Look, Silvia, thank you so much for taking the time to speak with me today, but also thank you to everyone who's tuned in and listened. This was a great conversation. We hope it was interesting for everyone who's tuned in. What we would ask is that if anyone has feedback on this episode, this series, if there are things you would like us to talk about and explore more, we'd love to hear your feedback. But with that, thank you very much, Sil.
Thank you, George. Thank you for your time, and looking forward to the next episode.